Hi, this is Shelley Kraft. We're coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the BioMaryland booth at the Bio International in Chicago 2013. I have with me Greg Merril of Brain Sentry. It's a private company. He's a speaker on the panel about reducing TBI, and we're going to find out all about it. Welcome to SNNLive.
Thanks, Shelley. Thanks for having me on.
Now, you're holding a football helmet. What is different about this football helmet than all other football helmets?
Well, unfortunately, all the football helmets are designed to prevent skull fractures. And so what we realize is that a lot of kids are getting concussions playing these sports, and unfortunately, the kids don't say anything when they're injured. So and the coaches won't often pull the kids out of the game. So we had to figure out how could we develop a technology which would help us figure out which kids need to be assessed for a concussion. So we developed a sensor and attaches to any helmet for football, for hockey, for lacrosse. When a kid experiences a big impact, a light comes on. When you see the light, the player has to report to the sideline, and we know that that's a player that needs to be assessed for a concussion.
So has anybody before me told you this is brilliant?
It is such a needed idea, and people are struggling with this issue of concussions. And it's the reason why we struggle with this issue with concussions is because if a kid is playing with a concussion, what we found is that 39% of the catastrophic head injuries happen to kids that are playing with concussions that haven't healed yet. So it's really important to take the kids off the field when they have concussions. But the kids aren't saying they're hurt, the coaches don't know, or sometimes they do know, and they're not pulling the kids off. So this is a really important idea.
Well, contact sports. And by the way, you might be able to use this in baseball when a kid gets hit with a pitch in the head. I've seen
Absolutely.
it happen, But I think you have to have the coaches accept it, and they wouldn't accept it unless they had to, if you ask me.
So, yeah, well, so one of the things we've seen is that, for example, the commissioner of the Arena Football League, which is a minor league to the NFL, a professional sports league, they have, the entire league has adopted this sensor as the official sensor for the Arena Football League. We are selling this into sports leagues and teams so that everyone has to use it. Makes it fair, too, for everyone. Everyone's using the same equipment. We're making the same decisions. So it's really fair. The other thing in terms of the coaches, football coaches are struggling to get enough kids to participate in the sport because their parents are scared of this concussion issue. So by having this product on the kids' helmets, we're acknowledging that we have something, we're trying to do something about this problem.
How far off could the NFL be to adopt this? I mean, I just see it as important. What's your background?
This is my third wellness company startup, medical product sort of startup company. I've developed medical simulators. I was able to provide a nice return on investment for my initial investors. I sold my first company for $42 million, which was developing computer-based medical simulators for medical training. I also developed other technologies and products around the use of sensor technology, winning the Consumer Electronics Show Innovation of the Year for a couple of years in a row. And then 2 years ago, I was really looking at what the military was doing with assessment of brain injury, and thought that this type of technology would be really applicable to football. But in terms of the assessment piece, turns out that wasn't the problem. The problem was, who do we assess? We didn't know which kids to look at. So that's when I came up with this technology.
What generation is this technology?
Well, we've been developing this over the past 2 years, and we've gone through a number of different iterations in the technical development. We're now in mass production of the systems, and by this fall of 2013, we'll be seeing this on many youth programs in the football, hockey, and lacrosse around the country.
Because you'll get it smaller eventually. I could see this morphing into a big, wide usage. Now, why Maryland?
Well, Shelley, I was born in Maryland. Maryland's a great, very supportive state in terms of the availability of resources from the state government, in terms of even the local governments. I'm in Montgomery County, Maryland, which has additional resources. So Maryland has been a great place to start a company like this. It's also the home of the National Institutes of Health and many other federal laboratories that support this kind of work.
Now, what is your website?
Our website is www.brainsentry, spelled S-E-N-T-R-Y, brainsentry.com.
So now when I tell people to get their helmet on and get in the game, you've just given me a whole new sensibility about it.
Game's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Merril, Brain Sentry. It's a private company, of course, in Maryland. You have the website. This is for TBI. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at the BioMaryland booth in Bio International in Chicago, 2013. Greg, thanks for coming on to SNNLive.
Thank you.
Good to have you.